Hey guys, how's it going? This is Khan TDK, Mr. So Real. And for fair warning, if my voice sounds a bit different or a bit strange, it's because I have a very serious cold right now, but I will not let that stop me from making some quality division videos for you guys. I know that a lot of people were asking me about the next part in the series, so I really wanted to get it out. Even though I'm sick, I didn't want to let that stop me. Another disclaimer, kind of warning, for this video and for the entire series, we'll be taking a look at the PvE version of the survival game mode. This will not be anything considering the PvP, as it may be less frustrating for solo players. Survival actually plays very differently from PvE and PvP, so for the sake of making it as easy as possible, we'll be sticking with the PvE game mode. All right, this has nothing to do with PvP, and how you play PvP survival and how you play PvE are very, very different. So yeah, just kind of keep in mind that for this series, we're going to be sticking with PvE. All right, now with all of that out of the way, let's get back into the Agent Info series, How to Get Master in Survival Solo Part 2. Now in this video, we are going to focus more on the skills and basically how to control yourself from being a little bit too greedy and putting yourself into certain situations that may end up getting you killed. Now, as a solo player, there are going to be some situations that may be advantageous for you, but there are going to be some others that may be quite life-threatening, and you do need to be careful with that because no one will come and pick you up. Usually people will loot your body and you'll have to start all over again. So with all of those warnings and everything out of the way, and again, excuse me for my voice, I know it probably sounds really strange, but you know, I need to do this and I know you guys really want part 2. So without wasting any more time, let's get on to this and talk about how to basically get master solo part 2. Now, if you're continuing on with us from the Agent Info part 1 of this series, then by now you kind of know what you should be looking for. And I'll just pick up things, you know, from that point that you probably, after, you know, getting enough medicine and all that other stuff and clothes and all that, by now you probably should have a gun or two and maybe have a couple pieces of armor, maybe 2 pain pills and an extra needle or 2 and a handful of consumables. So at this point, you're pretty much set and you should be looking into crafting your contamination zone mask and the green attachments that I mentioned before in the other video, and you should start looking for your skills. Now, if you're missing a few things, then, you know, it's okay. Just make sure that you have the meds and the clothes and that the red enemies, when you fight them, aren't like a really big problem. Since you have guns and clothes, your situation may not be perfect for you, but you should be able to take out red enemies and maybe even some purples and win your battles. So start thinking about crafting and your skills. This is where you really need to be at this point. Now, the number one skill that will make things a lot easier as a solo player for sure is the turret. Now, make sure you get this as soon as possible. I personally run pulse and turret. I use pulse to see around corners and to kind of know how many enemies are in the area, or just to plan out how I'm going to attack. And then I use the turret to add another gun to draw aggro. And some players may not like pulse, but the turret will save your life for sure. There are quite a few situations that it can get you out of. Now, you really want to, I would say, if you can, craft both of them around the same time, just because pulse only uses electronics, whereas I believe, and don't quote me on this, the turret uses weapon parts, tools, and I believe you have to use something else. There's three components, and I'm not really sure what the last one is, but definitely look into the turret. And the turret basically draws aggro and will pull enemies away. And you can also use it as a distraction to run past really kind of infested areas that have a lot of enemies that can take you down really quick. You just throw the you throw the turret down and run. There's nothing wrong with running. You throw that thing down and then you get to high stepping. Now that you have your pulse, you have your turret, or if you don't decide to use pulse, again, you can use whatever you like. Healing is also another good one if you want. But you have all of these things, and at this point, you've got your guns, you've got all that other stuff. At this point, you're probably feeling confident to go to like a landmark and get better gear, or to be eager enough to jump into battle to make your character stronger. Now, while I'm not against getting into battle to get better loot, you might be putting yourself at risk. The number one thing about this mode is to play smart. If you want that master score, then you really need to play smart, play efficiently, and rule number one is don't be greedy. If you do, you'll likely find yourself crawling around in a puddle of your own blood because you got cocky, you got greedy, and then you got flattened. And it's usually in that order. Remember, you're not playing with your level 30 character anymore, so all of the cool skills, armor, and weapons aren't here to save you. Maybe your survival skills will buy you a bit of time, but you still have to play it smart. That turret may distract a couple of enemies and maybe get them over in a certain area so that you can run through, but you cannot rely on that thing to help you all the time. You may find yourself outnumbered, outgunned, and then what? And so the rule that you really need to kind of remember is to keep yourself out of really shitty situations and make sure that you know exactly what you're going up against, and be very aware of what you are capable of. Your gun skills may be different from someone else, but that even if you do have really good gun skills, that doesn't mean that you should be cocky. Just make sure that you can win your engagements, make sure there aren't too many enemies that are above your level, and that you are aware that you're not drawing aggro from other enemies that you may not see. You may only see 2 or 3 guys standing out there, and then you take them out, and then next thing you know, 4 or 5 more come around the corner, and you kind of know how that's going to go. Learn to check out the area if you're the only one around, and see just how many enemies are lurking about. Just because you only see one guy doesn't mean that you're alone. But remember that you are. If you decide to go in with another player and somebody to help you out, that could be a different situation. It might be easier. But if you are truly trying to do it solo, just remember that you want to cover yourself and make sure that you don't put yourself in any sticky situations. That is the number one point that I want to drive home with this video, is to play smart, play safe, and make sure that you cover yourself and don't put yourself in bad situations, because that's usually the main reason why people end up going down. One thing you could do if you find yourself in an area where you know that it hasn't been looted yet, and you suspect there are some enemies and you're not really sure what their level is you can have a quick look around, and you never know, you might find something that can help you out. So next, I want to step you through a gameplay segment. And right here in front of me, there are, I believe, some purples, but there are some weapon parts nearby. Now I want to try to get these, and what I'll do is let them sneak by, and when I see them coming, I run away. There's no point in engaging with enemies that number one, outnumber you and are far stronger than you. If you can avoid getting into situations where you would definitely get killed just for a couple weapon parts, it's really not worth it. So after that, I go into this underground area and I see a medicine bag. Now, of course, I get pain pills, which is not ideal. Of course, you want that needle, but if you can get it, then you go for it. And because I've drank my water, I can see that there are also some fabric and other things laying around, maybe some med kits in that little bag nearby. But for whatever reason, I decide to run away, get the pain pills, and I guess I'm going back. I'm just doing this straight off the top. I'm looking at it and trying to describe to you guys what I saw and why I decided to play it this way. Now, the other thing is, if you see some meds and stuff like that that you can't pick up, you may want to use one of your items and then pick it up. Using some of those items might help you and, get you into a better spot. Here I get a really crappy level 1 shirt, which doesn't help anybody at all. And what I'm doing is just kind of slowly going through this area to find as much materials and resources as I can get. The underground areas are usually really good for vending machines that have some kind of water or soda, and having those on hand will always help you to find more and more materials. So by now I've got a ton of water. I've got some pain pills. I've also got some health packs, and I'm feeling pretty good. Right here I get a purple chest piece. This is going fantastic. Nobody's been down here. I'm getting some fabric, and I'm really just trying to clear all of this stuff out and making sure to stay away from any enemies that may be around. And this is really good. I'm getting yellow tools and all of that stuff. Now from here, I noticed that there are some enemies. And as I said previously, you never know exactly how many guys are around. And I saw one red, and then now I see a purple. And right now, with the gear that I have on and with the weapons that I have, I know that trying to take on a purple and a red and not really know exactly how many of them are over there is kind of iffy. But I did see them start to walk away. So what I'm going to do is just kind of creep up and see how close I can get to maybe scoring these clothes. I don't know if this trick works, but I know it works in other video games where you aim the camera down. Enemies can't really see you. That doesn't always work. But here I got a nice pair of pants. And then I'm noticing, here we go, there's some more guys that just kind of started to pour in. And this really goes back into, what I was saying about you don't want to start attacking enemies when you really don't know how many are there. Now we skip fast forward on this same part and go a little bit further down. I get a better gun because I had some green guns and they were pretty crap. I put on that purple chest piece, and before that I think I had that blue on. I've got just blue and green gear. This is not like high-end top of the line stuff. I'm barely at 83,000 toughness. My DPS is a little bit suspect. So you really, when you know that you're not at the top of the food chain, you want to play it smart. I see there's a little bomb over here, so maybe I'm thinking there could be some more goodies down there. But the other thing is I want to check and make sure that all of this stuff is as clear as possible and I've gotten as much from it as possible. Now again, I left all of those enemies alone. I didn't want to bother them. I didn't want to aggro them because if you count up the numbers, it's probably somewhere around 5 guys. And excuse me. And I only had some green weapons. So now I'm testing things out. I know that I have a blue weapon. I have a purple chest piece. I should be doing more damage and being able to take a little bit more damage, hopefully. And I'm just playing this smart, going through this slowly, taking this guy out one by one. I noticed that, okay, it's possible for me to take out a purple enemy at this point. I just got a blue bag. So going through the rest of this stuff, I'm going to check things out and see if there's anything else down here worth looting. Hopefully there'll be another purple item of some sort. That would be very helpful. When it comes to your wearable gear, the number one thing that you always want to be on the lookout for are holsters. As you level up, your holster game is really going to bump your stats. When you get into the dark zone and you start to craft things, especially crafting the gear, the first thing that you want to craft by far is going to be your holster, because at that point you're going to have 3 stats from the holster, and that is really going to bump you up. Now I'm going through this end of the subway. Personally, I like subways and rooftops. I especially like subways if they haven't been looted, because you can stay warm and you don't have to worry about being cold, and you can keep moving. And there are usually some pretty nice things going down in the subway. But here I'm getting all kinds of stuff, and I just want to check see if I can take this guy out. Off of one clip, I got him down. He hit me a couple times and put me back in my place. Now, had I not pulled out the pistol and went for the reload, he would have killed me. Definitely. So now I'm just trying to put my clothes together, get all of this stuff organized so that I don't have to do it later. Take a little pain pill to stop the infection. Again, management, looking at my timer, it's 40 plus minutes, which is good. I believe it's 40 plus. This screen is kind of small. So right now I've decided, all right, I took out a couple purples, got a little more gear, got some better weaponry from the first time that I saw that group. I'm going to go in and I'm going to challenge, because I don't know what else is down here. There may be some other stuff. And maybe if I get lucky, maybe I can kill the purple guy and get a purple drop. So that's always kind of the risk reward that you run with some of this stuff. Now the red guy, I'm going to try to take him out first, just because if I take him out, that's going to be less threats shooting at me. This purple guy setting up his turret, we definitely don't want him to get away with that. We try to take him out, but that turret is jamming me up pretty good. The last thing I want to do is be exposed, so I rotate and use cover to my advantage. Now, that guy, him and his turret did some pretty good damage, and this goes back to health management, using food to help get your energy back when you are in cover or when you're not in danger. That kind of stuff could help you out. Now, grabbing some more clothes and grabbing some more ammo and stuff like that, frag grenade. Now I'm just trying to figure out what else is down here, if it was even worth it. I end up running past a fabrics box. I don't know how that happened. I just saw it now on the replay. Picking up some more fabric. Now, I remember right now in hindsight that there are some more guys down here, and I do have to worry about them because they were purples. And as you can see, there are purples in front of me, and I see one for sure and a red. So I got a purple and a red, purple engineer. And the engineers are usually some of the most painful to deal with, just because when they set up that turret, they're really kind of a pain in the ass. And here there's no cover. So there's nothing for me to take cover on. I just have to play the long game. The good thing is that he's running a shotgun, which isn't doing a ton of damage. I got a little piece of cover over here. I still need to worry about that red guy, but I'm really trying to focus on the purple engineer at this point. And as he's going to go down, eventually he's going to go down. You still have to worry about that flank. And that's really what survival is all about. It's about playing it smart, watching where your threats are coming from, and being really aware of the situation. Now, had I not known about, all of the guys down here, maybe attacked only 2 of them, I could have been out in a really bad situation where I attacked 2 people and then had more come up and flank me. So now I've got a better holster, and going down into that subway really helped me out with getting a lot of gear and leveling myself up to get ready for the dark zone. Before we end part 2, the last thing that I really want to say is, if you're going to be greedy about something, definitely at this stage you should be greedy about materials in safe areas where there are no more enemies. Once you enter the DZ, you really want to grab as much division tech as you possibly can. Division tech is going to be your best friend, because it'll get you better gear much easier. It'll get you weapons, and it'll get you everything that you're going to need to stay alive. Now, you are going to be solo, so you don't have to share, which is the best part of that. If you're going in with 2 people, you may have to break that stuff up and kind of say, all right, here, you take this and you take that, you go grab that. Now, you can grab all of these things a lot faster, but you still have to share all of that stuff. And in the long run, it'll make you, I want to say it'll kind of make you a little bit weaker, but having another gun and having somebody that can pick you up would still make you stronger and be advantageous. Now, just remember to grab everything and use it later. Even if you don't have time to go through and kind of go through each and every piece to make sure, I want to keep this, I want to keep that. Don't worry about that. Just grab everything, use it later, pick it up and run with it and keep going, because that clock is always ticking. Now you don't want to run up. Definitely, you don't want to run up and try to snake a sealed cache. I've had people try to do this with me, and smart players will bait that out and end up getting those people killed. And if you see somebody trying to do that right as you're about to kill the boss, you may have to just stop shooting and sacrifice some things to see if that person will end up getting hurt or not. But yeah, you really don't want to try to run up and snake and steal somebody's sealed cache, or try to get somebody's armor or something like that that somebody's worked hard for. You might be able to get away with it once in a while, maybe once, maybe twice, but remember that, you know, that crazy HVT lady that sells bread in the in the bottom before you enter the survival, she'll just look at you if you go down and clown you and just say, silly boy. So just be really careful about how things go down if you're trying to steal somebody's sealed cache, because the smart players will let you get killed. All right, guys, so that is pretty much it for the second episode of how to master survival solo. I hope that you guys learned something from the bit of gameplay and the commentary that I put. I wanted to show you a little bit of an uncut segment so that you really got an idea of how I decided to play and how I play this mode. I try to play this as safely and securely as possible, and I hope that watching that one guy try to steal my cache and get screwed over really embedded something in your mind to let you know how this could go really left at the last second if you're not careful. So until part 3, I am Khan, TDK, Mr. So Real. I'll catch you guys in the next video. I'm going to try and work on it again later this week. Let me know what you guys think about this video, part 2, this video series. Is this helping you out? Is there anything specifically that you'd like to know about trying to solo survival? Leave a comment in the comment section, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. All right, take care, be good, and try and stay healthy. Don't catch a cold like me. All right, I'm gone. Peace.